In math, the third graders learned 3 different strategies that they can use to subtract numbers. And once again, this is not the traditional algorithm that most parents learned in school. And these are strategies to help students subtract numbers, but then also strategies to help third graders build a conceptual understanding of place value so that they're understanding what happens when they need to regroup or borrow to subtract. So the first strategy that I'm going to show you is expanded form. This is the same form that they used for addition, but now it's for subtraction. So they are going to make a chart for H for hundreds, T for 10, and then O for ones. And this chart just helps them keep their work organized with their handwriting and keep their numbers in the right place. So we have 400 and then 50. And then we have 4 ones and 454, 380, and then 5. And this is very, very important. Lots of third graders make this mistake. They will subtract from bottom to top, and they'll start with their ones, and they'll say 5 take away 4 is 1. But I keep stressing that they need to remember that they are subtracting, and you cannot in third grade subtract a bigger number from a smaller number. So they'll start in the ones, so 4 cannot take away 5 because 5 is a bigger number. So they are going to go to their tens place. And in their tens, they can regroup a 10. So 50 take away 10 is 40. And then they can regroup their 10. Before they even do any subtraction, they are going to do all of the regrouping. It just helps them stay organized. So that they know that they cannot subtract 80 from 40, they're going to need 100. So they're going to go to their hundreds column, and they're going to subtract 100 from 400. And then they're going to bring their 100 over, and so that they have 140 take away 80. Now all of the top numbers are bigger. They can subtract their smaller numbers. So 14 take away 5. So 14 take away 5 equals 9. 140 take away 80 is 60. And 300 take away 300 is 0. So they're going to take their number that's in expanded form, and they're going to put it back into standard form, 69. The next problems that I'm going to show you is we talked about subtracting across zeros. And they learn to use their expanded form, hundreds, tens, and ones, to organize their subtraction. And then they have their numbers. So what they'll do is they'll write 300. They have 0 tens and 0 ones. Then they'll write 200 and 50 and 4 ones. And then they're going to subtract. They'll notice that they have 0 in the ones place here. They cannot subtract 4 from 0. They cannot subtract 50 from 0. So they're going to do all of their regrouping. They're going to subtract 100 from the hundreds column. 300 plus take away 100 is 200. They're going to bring their 100 over to the tens. And then they need to regroup a 10 for the ones. So a 100 take away 10 is 90. Then they have to make sure they bring their 10 over to the ones column so that they can subtract. Now they have bigger numbers to subtract smaller numbers. 10 take away 4 is 6. 90 take away 50 is 40. And 200 take away 200 is 0. So 46. All right. Another technique that they can use is for subtracting across zeros is the subtract 1 and then add 1 at the end. So if they subtract 1 from 300, that is 299, And now they can just subtract. 9 take away 4 is 5. 90 take away 50 is 40. 200 take away 200 is 0. I have 45, but this one that I subtracted at the beginning, I need to add again for 46. So that's a lot quicker to do it that way. The top method shows them what happens and how they are regrouping. The bottom method is a lot more efficient. And then the last strategy that they learned was to use an open number line, just like they used it for addition. So they have to remember in subtraction that they start with their bigger number and they subtract their smaller number. So they'll start with their bigger number. They have 454, and that's at the beginning of their number line. And then they're going to expand 300 plus 80 plus 5. And then they are going to subtract. So they have to subtract 300. That's going to be 100 that they're subtracting, another 100, another 100, so that's 300. And then they have 80. They have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. And then they have 5 ones. And I didn't fit that on the number line. Put all these 10s in here. So a lot of times we will turn our paper sideways so kids can subtract all of their 10s. I'm going to put my number line here to make sure that I get my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ones. And you looking at this thinking this is very inefficient. It's not about efficiency at this point. It's developing a conceptual understanding and helping kids practice adding or subtracting numbers. So 454 take away 100 is 354. And I can write it up here for neatness. 354 take away 100 is 254. 254 take away 100 is 154. 154 take away a 10 is 144. Take away another 10, 134, 124, 114, 104. Take away a 10 from 104. Kids can count back. 103, 102, 101, 100, 99, 98, 97, 96, 95, 94. And then they're going to subtract 84 and 74. This is the part where kids they get stuck here when they're subtracting 10. So they can use another strategy. They can count on their fingers. They can use scrap paper. But this part right here, subtracting 10 from 104, seems to be the most difficult for third graders. So then they're at 74. Now they need to count back ones. 73, 72, 71, 70, and 69. Now, it really is inefficient, but this method works for kids at this age, and it helps them build a conceptual understanding. I hope this video is helpful to you as you are helping your child with subtraction at home.